Well, well, well. Well, well. It's been a while since I've live streamed. I don't even want to look. How long has it been? It has been. When did I do this one? What? Okay, this might be the most coincidental of coincidences, but it's been exactly a month. Exactly 1 month since I last streamed. No, I can't count. I cannot count. Hold on, I'm silly. It's been exactly 2 months. Two? Time flies when you're not having fun, I guess. It's been exactly 2 months since we last streamed on here. That's insane. Anyway, welcome everyone to the stream. As you can see by the title, we have the most important main topic to talk about, which obviously is non-existent. But anyway, I can't believe it's been 2 months since we last streamed. But anyway, that's crazy. Anyway, welcome everyone to the live stream. No idea how long we're gonna go for. We'll just go with the flow, pretty much, to see where the hour takes us. I just pretty much said hour, which makes it seem like I'm going to go an hour. We'll try and hit an hour, and then if anything after is extra. It's fun time. But we'll just go as long as we think it's worth it. So yeah. Anyway, welcome everyone to the chat. Obviously, hopefully you're having a good day, night, evening, middle of the night, wherever it is, or whatever time it is where you are. For me, it's 8 a.m. or it's 8:06 a.m. So not tired, but definitely not fully awake. Obviously, feel free to let me know where you are in the world. I'm always curious. It always garners my interest to know where you guys are from. Okay, don't worry, my streamer's being weird there for a second. Thanks, Dan. I am doing fairly well, not doing bad. UK. Please don't spam the chat with little flash. Not today, at least. North Carolina, New York. I don't even know why I did that voice. Is that like an attempt to do New York accent? I'll never know. The Bahamas. Whoa. Is it nice there? I guess it's always nice. It's the Bahamas. I guess it's always nice. Guess it's no real difference. India, Pennsylvania. Flash S. Mugwe? I'm not too sure exactly. The Flash is my guy? Is that what it means? I'm just assuming translation right there. I'm assuming that that's what it means. But if it's something else, if I just said something very offensive, don't cancel me for it. Rochester. I think it's Rochester. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, so we're just going to have a general Q&A because it's been a while since I live streamed and there's no real topic. Oh, well, actually, technically, you could argue like how like this trailers have started coming out and certain promotional stuff has started to come out, but obviously that's probably going to lean into just being on done or focused with like on videos and stuff like that. But we'll have to like that's over the next month or so that stuff will start coming out. So that's for us to wait and find out then. But Gary with I've forgotten how to live stream. I have to click on the donation, don't I? And it's disappeared. Anyway, I'm not going to put it up on the chat, but I can read it out because it won't let me put it up on the chat. Gary Gamon with the $5 or $4.99. Is the Flash getting delayed later than February? Are you mad at me? And how many breaks do you think the show will have? And will they have a sex scene? Well, just like previous seasons, I'd say a no to the last one. No. No to the first two questions. And how many breaks do you think the show will have? The show will have to have at least one break, and that's just due to the March Madness thing. But I think people were saying that, well, I don't know if it's still a thing anymore, but people were saying that March Madness was technically going to turn to April for the basketball stuff, but it probably could still happen in March now. I'm not too sure. I don't watch basketball. So, yeah, like that will be the thing that makes them break like it does every single year. But that would be it, I would assume. I don't think they're going to do anything else outside of that in regards to breaking. Well, speaking of breaking, my voice just broke. How timely. Have I watched the Tyson Fury fight? No. I'm not going to lie. I'm not really into boxing too much. Not really into any sort of like fighting thing. The only thing I sort of have an interest in, like I'll watch is MMA, and that's just because my mate does it. and I'm always curious like what he does when he does it. So I'm like, oh, I'll watch like the thing on TV. That's about it. I don't really look at it too much outside of that. Julian with the $2. Why CW putting out trash sidekick shows? Lol. Well, you could argue the same for the HBO Max. HBO Max is putting out even less profiled content in regards to their shows. Like they announced Peacemaker and a Gotham PD show. Like that's it. The CW is actually putting out stuff that's actually associated with bigger stuff. So what else would you do? Like what other characters can you put out there? The only other thing that would be bigger would be a Batman and a Wonder Woman show than what they already have now. Like what else could they put there? They can't do a Teen Titans show because Titans is on HBO Max. So there's no really, I don't know what else. Unless you have suggestions, and feel free to shoot them. Shoot them in the chat, but there's really not much. Like you're jumping into niche stuff once you get out of the stuff that they already have. So, and you wouldn't know the trash until they air as well. Francisco with this is the strangest one I've seen. $5.01. I've never seen the old one. Usually it's 0.99. Like we had Julian's was 0.99. I think Gary's was as well. That's a bit strange. Francisco, anyway. I can't let anyone out. Donate me. I have no idea what this means, Francisco. You might have to let me know exactly what this means because I am sort of confused. I'm not going to lie. I'm not too sure what this means. I can't let anyone out donate me. I know what you mean. I'm an idiot. That's why it says $5.01 because you're being better than the $4.99 previously. Don't worry. I'm an idiot. Maybe it's too early and my brain hasn't switched on. My fault. My bad. Sorry for that one. I'm silly. Okay. I'm gonna have to open up. Well, I already have opened up. Don't worry. Let's do that. Does that work? I think that works. There we go. That should work. Yeah, I know the spamming thing. I think I said that 2 months ago. I was going to do the thing where you can't spam, and I didn't fix it. Anyway, I've got the I opened up the thing on the other tab, so I can just do it now. Before I didn't have it open in my other tab. I remember like 2 months ago, but now I can do it quickly. I can just ban the account when they start spamming, so it's all good. But yeah, we'll just turn this stream into a general Q&A, pretty much, and we'll just have a chat because I'm always curious to hear what you guys are wondering, what you're, and everything like that, and then we'll just bounce back and forth if that makes sense. But as some of the other guys already did before, like Francisco, Julian, Gary, various things like that, if you do want your question 100% answered or statement 100% out, whichever it might be, feel free to super chat. Obviously helps support the channel, especially during this time, but not forcing you, not holding you by the neck and telling you have to do it. Just saying. Akansha, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Obviously, you know me, I'm terrible with this stuff. But anyway, they ask, what are your thoughts on Henry Cavill's Superman movies again? I'd love to see it. I think he's a good fit for Superman. I think the big thing I've always said is like, don't do a movie unless you have an idea for it. It's like with a TV show. Don't do a TV show. Don't force something if you don't have a good idea for it, especially something as big as Superman. You don't want to do Superman and it's half-assed. You don't have a general idea what you want to do. And even whether it's for Superman or even like the villain or supporting characters, make sure you have a plan. So if they don't have a plan as to what they want to do there, don't rush it. Just don't rush it. So I'd love to see him in the movies again, but I want it to be a good Superman movie. So just take your time with it. That's all I ask. Like with any other movie, don't rush it. That's always been DC's issue in the past. They've rushed stuff. And for the past, like, good amount of movies, pretty much post Justice League, every movie has been solid because they've taken their time with it and made sure that it's what the movie should be. And I think that's going to be the case with Wonder Woman, 1984. Yeah, sorry. If you see someone just spamming, just make sure you just say their name and I can ban them just quickly. So it's all good. But yeah, it's the same with like Wonder Woman 1984, like the Suicide Squad. Like they have an idea for what they want to do there. So that's all I want from them. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. Is that the next one? Yes, it is. Mauricio with the $2. Y'all hate on shows that aren't even out. Well, that's like Batwoman's Batwoman season 2 is an example. Like, you can not like the idea of it, which is fine. You can say, okay, well, I don't really like the idea of the Wonder Girls show. I don't think I'll like it, which is fair enough. But I think to call it like to go over the top and just completely trash the show or something is a bit out of order until you actually watch it. But yeah, like never judge anything until you actually see it. Ryan Tildesley, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, with the £2. What do you think of the Batwoman season 2 trailer? It's got me intrigued. I'm interested to see what they do early on in the season and everything like that. I think I've always said, and I'm looking forward to it as well. So this isn't me like completely like, oh my god, I'm being like hypocritical in regards to what I just said in response to Mauricio. But I am a bit worried about the beginning because I think it's going to be messy. But that's not me saying I'm worried about the entire season, if that makes sense. Because I think the transition from going from what came before with KK and everything like that, and them randomly explaining her death without actually having Ruby Rose there to film that scene and everything like that, it's going to be messy. So it's going to be a lot of, oh, she went away, and then do a lot of stuff off screen. I'm guessing they're going to have a stunt double pretending that, or standing in for Ruby Rose as KK, and then something happens. And maybe use old audio or something like that to make it work. I'm not sure how exactly they're going to do it, but I think it's going to be messy, the transition period going over to the new Batwoman. But overall, I'm looking forward to it. Like, Scarecrow's meant to be in it. It looks like it's got a bit of a higher budget, which I expected because the HBO Max stuff had like fully folded over by this point. Which you can just see the fact that they added certain things to the show as well. So I'm looking forward to it. But we got, I think just over a month. I think it comes out in about 5 weeks. I think 5 weeks and 1 day, I think, is when it comes out. So not too long. I'm just making sure there's no more spamming. All good. All good. If I could make a new show, what would it be about? I'm not too sure. Like, there's actually not much there. Like, I guess like a completely new show that like hasn't been really like set up but previously. Like, I don't know, like I didn't really have an idea for a new show, but the one show that I wanted to head down a certain route was probably Legends of Tomorrow, and it should have jumped into exploring the multiverse. I think that was a very massively missed opportunity with that show, was to keep doing the time travel thing, which it could have still kept, but they should have added the multiverse aspect with it, so they could go to Earth 4, but then go to Earth 4 in 1970 or something like that. And there's cool things that don't affect the continuity of Earth Prime or Earth 1 at that stage, whichever it might have been. So I think they missed an opportunity there, which would have made the show much better, and I think would have had more people watching it, to be completely honest. Because yeah, I think it would have made the show a bit better. I don't know why people. I'm assuming people are talking about Iris because of my title. I'm not too sure. Anyway, Gary Gamon with the $2. Is Reverse Flash returning this season in Red Death? No idea about Red Death. In regards to Reverse Flash, based off last season and what was meant to be the cliffhanger for season, what was it? Season 6. I would say so. I don't know in what aspect, because obviously we know that like he doesn't have a physical body. He's just like a ghost, I don't know, or some sort of like spirit out there in the Speed Force or something like that. So I'd say yes. I just don't know in what form or in what manner or when or how. But I would say yes, just to give it like a a straight up statement or answer. I'm just looking through the chat. See, I've saw people saying Dreamer spin-off for Supergirl. It's hard to do a spin-off of a character like Dreamer who really doesn't have much in the comics. You gotta, unless you're just gonna completely go off and just make everything up, which you can do. Like, we're gonna do it with Wonder Girl, obviously. But I think it's hard to do it with an already existing character that's been in the show for a while and then do stuff afterwards, just making it up, if that makes sense. So I think with a lot of the Supergirl characters, you're not going to see any of them really. The only one I could really see having any sort of reoccurrence, if that makes sense, is maybe Martian Manhunter, and that's like I don't even think that's like a solid chance either. I think like that's under 50% chance of happening. Um, but he's the only one I could really see having any sort of um yeah, as I said, like reoccurrence or showing up after the fact. So or after the show's over. So I think a Draymond spinoff's very unlikely. And also I don't think it would have like a ridiculous appeal, to be completely honest either. Like I like Dreamer on Supergirl, not my favorite character on Supergirl, but I don't really don't think the appeal's there at all. Is Mia going to get her own TV show? Well, they tried to do it and it just didn't get picked up. I don't even know what's happening with that show. Like I think if most of you would know that well, if you watch the video, I guess for this new spinoff, well, the new show, sorry, that Naomi show, one of the co-producers on the show was meant to be a showrunner for Green Eye and the Canaries, Jill Blankenship. So she's left. Now, I can't remember who the other guy was. I think it's Oscar Balderrama was the other guy. So if he gets put on something else soon, then that's literally chop off the head of Green Eye and the Canaries. It's never happening. So that was Mia's chance to get a show. I didn't really want her to get a show. I don't think she's that good of a character, if not a very bad character. But yeah, I really couldn't care for her too much. And Drizzle in the Hizzle with a $3. Who's more powerful between Flash and Supergirl? Well, it should be Supergirl, but I've always said the Flash is probably the most powerful character in the entire Justice League, if not just DC universe in regards to heroes, because he could just travel back in time and kill you as a baby. Like that's pretty overpowered. But if it's just a fight between them in the present day, like just for some reason they're fighting each other, you'd probably say Supergirl, just because laser vision, like that could just, and then she's fast as well. So that could just burn a hole through Barry's head. So that's what I would say. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the new spammer. It's all good. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Hopefully that hides it. Okay, there we go. I didn't see the new spammer. My bad. Did I miss your super chat, Julian? Damn it. Dang nammit. Give me 2 seconds to find it. I did not see it. Super chats. Okay, I can see. Okay, is that the only one I missed? I think it is. Okay, I don't know why it didn't show up. Anyway, all good. I can see it now. I can't put it up on screen though, so my bad. Let me just. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, it's annoying, but anyway, it's all good. The spamming's annoying. Don't worry. If I can, someone remind me on Twitter. Can someone remind me on Twitter after I finish my live stream to fix the spamming thing? Because I'll be sure to go onto the settings so there's a timeout thing so you can't do it. So not now, but like after the stream ends, can someone remind me on Twitter? Because I'll just forget because I'm an idiot. But anyway, Julian's thing. Where did it go? Here we go. Let me rephrase then. The premise of them saying trash. That's what I assumed you meant, because I was like, well, how would you know? You haven't watched them. And I can completely understand that. I'm completely fine. Like there's things that I look at all the time and I'm like, why the hell are they even making this show? Like to me personally, and some of you might agree with this, I think they're making that Gotham show. Like the new one that's meant to be like connected to like the Batman movie. And I'm looking forward to the Batman movie. It looks amazing. But I think that spin-off sounds really stupid because they just did Gotham for like what, 5-6 seasons that only ended last year or halfway through last year. So for me, that show sounds silly. It sounds like you're just repeating. It's like if they did a Green Arrow show, like they just, even if it could be like really different. They just did Arrow for 8 seasons. Like give it some breathing room before touching the character or that sort of premise again. So there's little things like that. Yeah, don't worry, I got Gleek. I don't know why people bother. Anyway, so it's just things like that. Like I can understand where people have different opinions, but I get what you mean. Like just for me personally, that show just seems like it's a bit of a just a repeat. I don't think I missed anything here in regards to all good. Is Diggle going to become a Green Lantern? No, won't know. Won't know until I don't know when he starts filming. I'd assume he probably does. He's doing his filming in the new year because I think they've only got like a couple of days left until they go on break. So he's probably doing all his filming in the new year after Christmas and stuff like that. So won't know him until he starts filming, I guess. What are your thoughts on the Snyder Cut? Look, this is pretty much my stance on the Snyder Cut, and I've always said this multiple times. I don't say multiple times when I'm in one stream, but I've said it multiple times over the course of stuff. Just to clarify, I'm happy Zack Snyder gets to do it because it was a tragic thing that happened to him. Like Kevin Sujihara and everything that happened with him, and sort of like pushing Zack out and stuff like that was really messed up. So I'm happy he gets to come back and do it. However, my only issue with it is it's sort of irrelevant. And by irrelevant, I mean it's not going to be canon. They can't make it canon because they've made movies afterwards set in the present day where Superman's alive and wearing like the blue suit and everything like that. And we know that in Snyder's thing, that's not a thing. Now, obviously, they could change that in like something that happens next year. They could do like a special episode or something where Superman gets the blue suit and it's like a Snyder version. He gets to write his version of how Superman gets the blue suit and stuff like that. But from what's being said here, or what that's going to be in the Snyder Cut, he has that black suit. So due to that, it's sort of irrelevant. Also, Aquaman's different in the like what do you call it? The movie and everything like that than he was in the Snyder in the Justice League stuff. It's handled differently. So like I'm looking forward to seeing what his thing was. And also it's also like a closure point as well. That's a big thing as well. It's just like giving closure to the entire thing. So that's what I'm looking forward to about it all. Even though my big thing is that I only really care about relevant stuff to a universe. What would you think of a Reverse Flash TV show? I don't think it would last very long. It'd be like you wouldn't need a season. Like, what would he do? I think it's hard to do shows on villains. I think it's really hard to do shows on villains. You can do a movie, but it's hard to do, even a movie's a struggle. It has to be like a really important or interesting villain. You can't really do one just like on a random villain. You couldn't do like a Black Manta TV show probably. Well, actually, technically you could. You could just go around doing pirate stuff, but I don't know how interesting it would be. Do you think Grant Gustin will have a crossover with the DC movie? I think it's pretty much confirmed he'll be in Flashpoint at this stage. Like, if he's not, it'd be a shock. Let's be completely honest. It'd be very, very surprising. Caitlin said, did you see the Disney Plus... Oh, sorry. Pardon me. Did you see the Disney Plus Investor Conference? The Marvel and Star Wars shows look good. Yeah, they announced heaps of stuff. Like, I think I don't think if this was like normal, it wasn't COVID, I don't think they would have announced that stuff. Not saying it wouldn't have been in the works. I just don't think they would have said, oh, here's a show that's coming in 2023. They probably would have saved it for next year. But I think they're getting ahead of it and they're probably thinking, okay, hold on. Comic-Con might not be a thing next year. We might not be able to do Comic-Con. So we'll announce a lot of stuff here. So, I think they really, like the investor conference, I think they wanted to sort of boost some stocks there. And I think their stock thing just like it went like skyrocketed in like compared to what it was in a quick amount of time due to what was announced. So I'm looking forward to pretty much all this. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. Like I really was into it like a lot when I was like 14 or 15. And that's not me saying I don't like it. I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I don't like the knowledge and everything around it. Like I like The Mandalorian, but I'm not like obsessing over the next Star Wars movie and everything like that. But the Marvel stuff all looks good. The Loki, like my favorite thing was probably, noob, please don't spam because if you do spam, I'll just time you out because there's been a lot of spammers. So don't put multiple things in the chat. If I don't see it the first time, like 7 things aren't going to help. Or I'll just ignore it like all the 7 times you post it, if that makes sense. But yeah, the Loki trailer looked good. That's probably the thing I'm looking forward to the most. And just because it's time travel, like it's doing like different historical things, that's like my jam. So Loki looks good. Would you like a Flash and Superman crossover? Um, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think we're going to be waiting until like what would be season 8 of the Flash, I guess, and season 2 of Superman and Lois. But they could surprise us. But I would be very, very surprised. Also, because it's like limited episodes. COVID's an issue. So I'd be very, very surprised if it happened this season. Gary said, "Is the Flash back filming?" The Flash has been back filming for about a week now. But they go on break soon. But I think they only go on break for a bit. I think they only go for a break for like, I think it's like 2 weeks. The rest of the show's going like a month break over Christmas. The Flash only has like, I think it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks or something break. And I think it's because they had the COVID stuff where they had to close production for a bit, for a week or so. So they're back filming. They've been filming for about a week. I think they'll film for about, I guess, this week or the remainder of this week. And then go on a bit of a break and then come back and start. So they won't, yeah, they're back filming from that COVID thing. I think it's been about a week. Sorry, I'm just looking to this. Yeah, hold on, I can see it. I don't know. I think people are making like fake accounts just to type stupid crap in the chat. Anyway, hide. And who was the other guy? Who was the other guy? Okay, found you. Found you. There we go. Oh, good. Took 2 seconds. Do you think Harley saw his acting career is over? I was actually talking. I think I've said this before. Is it in my stream or someone else's stream? But his career, I think, for any sort of like main thing is definitely affected heavily. The thing that he can do, and it's been evident with other actors that have been like quote unquote cancelled or something's happened or they've been hashtag exposed, whatever you want to call it, is indie stuff. Indie stuff is easy. You're never really on a poster and stuff. If it's like you're a good enough actor for it, they'll do it. You know what I mean? They'll hire you. So I don't think you're going to see him like on, you know, any sort of main show. He's not going to be appearing on This Is Us or any sort of show like that. But like indie stuff is where he's probably going to have to go to get work because of what happened. That's probably of what happened. That's probably what's going to happen. Or it's one of those things you wait 5 years. If that makes, you know what I mean? You just wait 5 years. Maybe the world's different in 5 years. Maybe everyone forgives you and stuff. Or the industry forgives you, whatever you want to call it. And they go forward like that. Yeah. I see what you say, Malta. Like Robert Downey Jr. was cancelled. Well, was he cancelled? It was just like he was just like his image was just tarnished because of what happened. But then he like, ironically, like I think Elton John saved his well, Elton John didn't save his career, but Elton John sort of gave him like the push, like put him back in like sort of the mainstream randomly through that music video. I can't remember what it was called. But I think Robert Downey Jr.'s thing is probably a bit different. Maybe like Mel Gibson is probably something that's similar, but Mel Gibson was already like a titan in the industry, so I think it's hard to, you know, compare them. Captain J10 with the $2. Thank you very much for that. Your opinion on all the updates on Spider-Man 3? I'm curious to see how much these characters in the movie, like some of the people that are like quote unquote insiders, are saying like a lot of these characters that are being announced for Spider-Man 3 are like literally just cameos or extended cameos for a bit. It's almost like Crisis. Like the new meme is to pretty much to say blah 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 is set to reprise their role as blah 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 in Spider-Man 3. That was the meme last year with Crisis. The amount of like Crisis memes, like last year it would have been, you know, Tobey Maguire to reprise his role as Spider-Man in Crisis on Infinite Earth. So yeah, I'm interested to see like how big their roles are in the show, like in the movie, might I say. That's what I'm curious about. Well, yeah, the Robert Downey Jr. thing was like the late 90s, early 2000s. It was ages ago, like so long ago, the Robert Downey Jr. stuff. Like a lot of, like that's the thing. A lot of people wouldn't even know what happened with Robert Downey Jr. Like that's how long ago it was. Like, even if it was 10 years ago, I think it would have been probably heaps long ago where people wouldn't even have known it happened. Like, people are now just finding out that Robbie Downey Jr. did Tropic Thunder, which was what, 2008, 2009. I'm assuming you mean season 7, Noob Gamer, and it'll just be whenever the show, whenever the season ends. So that'll be like what, June next year, July next year, roughly like that. So it's a while away. When will the Flash come back? I'm so confused. I think it's February 23rd. I think 20. I think it's it's 23rd or 21st. I think it's 23rd. I think it's 23rd, but I'm sure someone in the chat will clarify. Oh yeah, Haley says 23rd. So yeah, I knew it was 21st or 23rd. What's your opinion on the newest Johnny Depp / Amber Heard stuff? Don't have to pick a side if you don't want publicly. Well, I don't really have a side in it because I think they both did bad stuff there. Just they're like, it's one of those like tricky topics to even like touch too much. I think Johnny Depp is getting absolutely slammed in the media when I think it goes both ways. So it's like, well, if you're going to go heavy on Johnny Depp that much, you probably have to go to Amber Heard as well. But yeah, the media is weird in regards to how they're covering that. Like, they're obviously just trying to get as much coverage out of it as they can, if that makes sense. But obviously, I don't dive. I just see what I see on Twitter, and that's about it. I don't really dive too much into most of it. I am surprised that Amber Heard's going to be in Aquaman 2 if they're going to drop Johnny Depp from the Harry Potter stuff. So anyway, but I know when that starts filming, Aquaman 2. I think it's meant to start filming sometime early next year. So I'll have to wait and see what happens there. Ryan with the £5. Thank you much for that, Ryan. Do you think Ruby Rose will come back to end Kate's story? And when do you think we will get another Flash trailer? In regards to another Flash trailer, I know a lot of people are hoping for this month, December, which is still an option. Don't get me wrong. I think if we're going to see anything new footage-wise for the Flash, I think it's going to be in like a sizzle reel sort of thing with multiple shows. Like, I'm sure you guys remember, usually one of the first things they release that has new footage outside of the Comic-Con stuff is a sizzle reel thing. So we'll have some footage from the Flash, have some footage from Supergirl, Black Lightning, at the time Arrow, stuff like that. And it'll be in like a 1 minute thing, and it's like maybe 10 seconds, 8 seconds of every show. So you get a lot, but you get some stuff. That's probably the most likely thing you're going to see. However, that sizzle reel would usually be released in like September, but we're heading into December. So if we don't get anything by the end of this month and we head into January, I would expect just a normal Flash trailer at some point. And it wouldn't surprise me too much if they release it about a month before the show comes out. So in like the January 20th, if that makes sense. So like on January like 21st, that's when they'll release like a 1 minute, like similar to the Batwoman trailer that just came out. Batwoman's about a month away. They released that trailer. It's about a minute long. I'd expect something like that with the Flash about a month before. The thing is that early January, they're going to be focusing on promoting the shows that are starting in mid-January, like Batwoman, I think Riverdale, All American, and I think there's one more show. Maybe there might be a couple more shows. They'll be focusing on trying to promote those ones so they wouldn't eat up time promoting Flash, which isn't starting until the end of February. So in regards to anything with length for the Flash, in regards to a trailer, probably late January, sorry. But you could get something earlier, but it'll be in like a sizzle reel thing, I think. But thanks for the super chat and the question, Ryan. Can you talk to me? Hello, Gedeon. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I am talking to you. Do I think Harley Sawyer will get a second chance on the Flash? No. I have a feeling with the Harley Sawyer thing, I know it's like an old topic, but it's always going to be brought up, I guess, for a while in the Flash. I have a feeling the cast might have had to decide whether they wanted to work with him again. If one person said no, then it wasn't going to get back. And that wouldn't surprise me too much if that happened. My thought, Flash just started filming again since the shutdown, which I think only was like a week or something like that. It wasn't too long. A Mizanator with the $2. Do you think Flashpoint will even happen? Like the Flash movie? I think it's going to happen. I am just curious to see how long it gets, because I think it's now. I think there's a Marvel movie coming out. I think it might be Captain Marvel 2. I might be wrong. I have a feeling it's Captain Marvel 2 or it's something else. I think it's Captain Marvel 2 though. That's what I'm going to put my money on. That's the movie, and it comes out like 2 weeks before where the Flash is scheduled to come out, or it's like really close. Might be even closer. Yeah, Captain Marvel 2 got delayed to November 2022. I think that's where the Flash is. So I don't know what they're going to do with the Flash movie, because will they release it around Captain Marvel 2? I know you might be going, oh, well, they're nothing like it. It's not like, Doctor Strange 2 or Spider-Man 3 is coming around that movie, but it's still Captain Marvel 2. Like the first movie made $1 billion. We know, like, sure, Endgame helped that movie get $1 billion, but it's still a big movie that will make like $700-800 million, especially by that point in time when the COVID's gone and done with. So it'll happen. I just think we might be waiting even longer for it. I think they might move it into 2023, which would be insane. Crazy. Anyway, I don't even know when hopefully they start filming that movie soon. I think it's meant to start filming early next year, but that's for us to wait and find out. Like, when was it meant to come out? June 2022? And now it might not come out till like March or February 2023 now. And that was like the most recent delay. Like, I think it was meant to come out earlier this year or something like that, or last year. Anyway, it's insane. Hold on, is this person going to start spamming again? Give me 2 seconds. Are they? Ooh, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. Someone just got the same spam message. Oh, I'm just going to time them out anyway. It saves me time having to look at the chat. What was their name? Sam Sun High Song. Anyway, whatever. Just looking through the chat, trying to find a question. Aquaman 2 comes out the same day as Avatar 2 in 2022. God, there's a lot of twos. And I think Aquaman 2 is getting pushed. I think the thing is, I think you're going to see a lot of movies get pushed. It's just the big one, which one budges first. I think Aquaman 2 will be the one that probably moves, because Avatar 2 has been, like, how long has it been since Avatar 1? Like 12 years? No, sorry, I think, when did it come out? 2010, 2009? So it's been about 10 years, 10, 11 years. I can't see Avatar 2 moving, but I don't even know. I don't even know when Aquaman 2 starts filming. So I could see that being budged. Yeah, like Haley says, the movie industry is such a hot mess right now. Like, I don't even know what's happening with all the stuff, like the HBO Max Warner Media thing, or the. Actually, I'm curious though. Let me know in the chat, because I think it's probably divided. And this isn't about whether you think it was right for them to move the movies and stuff to HBO Max for like all of next year and stuff like that. But do you think they will keep that? Do you think it could fail? They don't get a lot of subscribers from HBO Max for maybe not Wonder Woman. Like, I think Wonder Woman maybe should just, they'd expect a decent amount, but say by April or May next year, they're only at like 20-25 million subscribers, and they're losing all this money from not putting the movies out in cinemas, especially when they get to like August and September and stuff like that. Do you think they will retract that and be like, okay, hold on. The Suicide Squad will go to theaters exclusively, and we're not going to put on HBO Max straight away. We'll wait a month or something like that. I'm curious to see what happens, because I'm surprised they made that announcement without, what do you call it? Seeing the results of Wonder Woman. Yeah, I can see the spam. Don't worry. It's all good. I can see the spam. I'll just time you out, Kwiku, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, just so you stop spamming, but try not to spam in the chat. I saw the hi. Just try not to spam, because we've had issues with that already. Yeah, Nathan says the HBO movie deal will fail. I don't see how it succeeds. I don't see how it succeeds. I think the only reason they've announced it for a year, and I think this is exactly why they've done it as well. I think the reason they've said, okay, we're doing it for all of 2021, starting with Wonder Woman first in December of this year, is so people subscribe for a year. So then HBO Max has 12 months of rolling subscriber numbers that they can have there, which then people can maybe add on to throughout the year. So that's what they're hoping for. That's what I think they wanted. They just wanted people to sign on for 12 months to get those sub numbers up, and then they know they can keep those exact numbers for at least 12 months. I think that's exactly why they've done it. And it wouldn't like they can bait and switch you. They can literally what do you want to call it? Like screw over people that subscribe for a month because so it's for 12 months, sorry, because they've already subscribed. You can't back out. You've already given the money to them. And then by the time like Suicide Squad rolls around, they go, okay, hold on. We're not going to release on HBO Max the same day. We'll release it a month after. So it'll be in cinemas for a month and then it goes to HBO Max a month after. They can change that if they want to. And they even in their terms and conditions, they said that they can change it. So I have a feeling they're going to screw people over and they're going to bait and switch people. That's the hashtag Pagey prediction for 2021. And I don't think it's going to surprise too many people if it does happen as well. Well, yeah, that's the big thing, Mighty Thor. All the movies are going to get pirated, and it's not even just in America. Like, let's be honest, especially some of the movies that come out. So for like Wonder Woman's coming out about almost 2 weeks early in like Europe and some places in like like South America and stuff. In Australia, it's not coming out to December 26th because Boxing Day is like which is December 26th, is like a big movie day in Australia. That's when they always release movies here. They never release movies. Anything that's big comes out in December 26th, like all the Lord of the Rings movies, Star Wars. If there's a DC movie like Aquaman came out December 26th, that's when they release them. But for say like Suicide Squad, which would pretty much have a same day release worldwide, they're not only going to affect their domestic things through torrenting and piracy, the whole world will be it. Like everyone, people in England, people in Australia, people in Spain, people in Russia, people in China, people in Brazil will just torrent the movie for Suicide Squad or Godzilla versus Kong or Dune, all these movies that are coming out then, or even Mortal Kombat, I think, which is in like January, if they want to watch it. So piracy is going to kill them. Like that's the thing, just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, well, the thing with the HBO Max deal, Sam, is that like in Australia, and I think this is the same in England and Europe as well, there's already services that have contracts with HBO and HBO Max content. So HBO Max itself can't launch in those countries because other services have contracts for those content, content for like 4 or 5 years or something like that. So unless they want to pay the money off to get the content back so they can launch HBO Max, they can't do anything. So HBO Max might launch in Asia. I think Asia is the only market where they could actually get a consistent amount of countries signing onto it because there's no content deals there for a lot of it, or they already have HBO in those countries. So it's pretty insane. It's not very well planned. Can you imagine if the pandemic had happened last year when Crisis was being filmed, the storyline? I was actually thinking about this. Imagine if it had happened when Arrow was filming its last episode. That's what I was thinking. I was like, imagine if it happened when did I miss a bunch of super chats? Was I that out of it? Did I get that self-indulged, if that makes sense, into my chatting that I missed super chats? Okay, I did see these super chats, but for some reason I just phased off and didn't see them. Anyway, I can see them now. It's all good. I have to open this thing here because I can't see one of the questions fully. Okay, this is me answering them. Sorry for being an idiot and missing them. That's my bad. I'll take full credit for being an idiot there. First off, it was Ryan, I think, with the £5. Thank you much for that, Ryan. Do you think Ruby Rose... Oh, no, sorry. Oh, I didn't answer the Ruby Rose side of the question. I'm an idiot. My bad. In regards to Ruby Rose coming back and ending Kate's story, it depends because I don't even know what the relationship is with her and the people that run the show. I have no idea what's going on there. Like, do they hate her? Does she hate them? I think it all probably depends on that. And also if she costs a lot of money to get back for one episode. You know what I mean? Like they're using her face on that newspaper in that trailer, so obviously they can still use her face for certain things, I guess. But I guess it depends on the relationship there. And maybe if the story serves it. I think it'd be good to have her come back and end it, but we also don't know how they're gonna handle Kay. Like, do they kill her off? Or is she just gonna be missing? So episode 1 of season 2 will explain that. But at this stage, I think it's sort of like just got a big question mark on it because I don't even know necessarily how they're going to do it because I know how the relationship is between them. But thank you very much for that, Ryan. And Mr. Nader with the $2. New Flash story idea and things you hope for in season 7. I'm just hoping for fun. I'm excited to see how they handle Godspeed in that story. I don't think he's actually the actual villain. I think he's going to be like an antagonist, and someone else is going to be the villain. But yeah, so that's what I'm interested in. Also, like the new Speed Force and stuff like that. I don't really have an idea in regards to anything story-wise they could do, but I wouldn't mind them tapping into the multiverse again, which could open up story ideas and story plans and just story opportunities. So that would be what I would like to see. But I don't know if like the shortened season and maybe some certain restrictions are going to stop that, but that's for us to wait and find out. And then Dan with the $2, will they keep Sue on the Flash for very long? Well, we know she's on the Flash for some part of this season. I guess the big question is just like how much of the season is she actually in it? Can I bring that up? No, I can't. All good. It's weird. I don't know how they're going to make Sue consistent on the show without Ralph. Like, who's she going to hang out with? Like Iris? Like, I don't know what they're going to do there with Sue. So she could be the one which it could be a bit weird to watch just because it's saying that she did rely a lot on, well, she did. Like, the only reason she's on the show is because of Ralph. So if Ralph's not there, how do they keep her on the show a decent amount? So we'll have to wait and see. But who knows? The Flash will die in 2 seasons. Do you mean the character or the show? Because the show's still the most popular show on the network, and I think is always in like the top 10, top 15 torrented shows worldwide every single year. So it's nowhere near close to being dead. If the Flash is dead, then every other show pretty much on TV is dead. But I'm assuming you're talking about the character. I'm assuming so. Well, hopefully. Not saying I want the show to the character to die. I'm just saying for logic wise. Gary Gamon with a $3. Never seen that before. Anyway, will Flash be delayed later in February? No, the Flash will be out. Like, they've got enough episodes now. They're on like episode, I think like 7 or 8, I think roughly. So that'll be sweet. Like, no show's really going to get delayed. And this is the big thing. Like, nothing's going to have a ridiculously lengthy shutdown from COVID unless like everyone gets it or Vancouver itself where they film goes into complete lockdown. They can't film. My dad works with the CW. Well, there we go. I don't even have to respond to that. Paigey vanishes in Crisis. I'll tell you what, though. A couple of days ago, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, marked 1 year since Titans appeared on Crisis, and I felt like putting a bit of a meme of a tweet. I don't know if anyone remembers. Remember how much hate I got when I said Titans were going to be in Crisis? That was insane, the amount of hate. And I knew they were in there as well. I knew they were going to be in there, even though like I knew they were going to be in there. Had the evidence and everything like that. The amount of hate I got was hilarious. And then we got proven right. It was like the biggest sipping of the tea you'll ever see. Anyway, hilarious. A couple of days ago marked 1 year since that happened. The Flash kid, is she going to be in the story? Do you mean Nora? I'm not too sure what you mean there. I'm assuming you mean Nora. Yeah, technically I was double right because they were in Crisis twice. What's happening to the Green Canary spinoff? It's probably dead. Do you think that Julian Howe will ever return to the Arrowverse? It depends. Like, I'm sure most people, or actually most people might not know this. Like, he was meant to be in season 4. Him and Tracy Brand were meant to come back for season 4. but Tracy Brand, I think they didn't really have an idea what they wanted to do with the character, and also was the HR? HR had died, and that was like sort of like the connective tissue there with Tracy, and then Julian Albert or Tom Felton was meant to come back, but then he did like a Broadway thing, or he did like some sort of theater play, and he didn't tell the people that ran the show or something like that, and it crossed over with the beginning of the season. So it's almost like when Melissa Benoist did Broadway, but the showrunners knew, and like Supergirl people knew about it and everything like that. It was done ahead of time and everything like that. Tom Felton didn't do that. So he was meant to be in season 4. I don't know if it was meant to be for the entire season, but he was meant to be in season 4, and then they just scrapped him. And I'm pretty sure that's why Ralph was in the show. I'm pretty sure Ralph got introduced because Julian Albert was taken out. So I don't know. So if you really liked Ralph, or if you liked Ralph more than Julian Albert, then I guess you won there. But yeah. Peggy. I've never seen that. Actually, well, I've seen Peggy. I don't know if I ever get Peggy too much. Anyway, hey Peggy, what's going on with Stargirl? Well, they're filming. I think they're about almost a month into filming or something like that, but we don't really know. Like they won't come out till like season 2 won't air until like what? Like June, maybe July or something next year. So it's a while away. Like Supergirl, Legends, and Stargirl, they're like still like 6 months away. So I don't know what's going on with them necessarily in regards to episode titles or anything like that. We'll probably be waiting a while for a trailer or anything like that. Probably until like April, maybe March if we're lucky. But yeah. I want there to be a Green Arrow movie because his story is so interesting. I'd love to see a Green Arrow movie. I don't know if it will necessarily. I would love to see Green Arrow in a movie. I don't know if they do a movie focusing on his origin and everything like that. And the big thing is because we had Arrow. And I know you can say, well, not everyone watched Arrow, but a lot of people did watch Arrow, or at least the early seasons and know the story and stuff like that. So they could do it. You have to do an interesting take, though, I think, to separate it from the TV one. So I'm just looking through the chat because I know I missed some stuff. Who's my favorite character on The Flash? It is obviously, and I forgot the guy's name. I was going to meme it up and I forgot the guy's name. What's his name? I know he's alias, but what's his real name? Oh, what is it? Anyway, I've ruined the meme. I was going to say, whatever Goldface's real name is. Daddy likes the metal. Whatever his real name is, it's like, I don't know. His name's Goldface. I know that that's his alias is Goldface. Like he has an actual name. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, Charles got Daddy like the metal. Yeah, knew what was up. Is my real name Ronald McDonald? I wish it was. Actually, no. You get memed, wouldn't you? You get trashed, wouldn't you? So I wouldn't want him as my real name, but it'd be an interesting name to have if McDonald's didn't exist. Because Ainsley Harriott, that'd be interesting. Is it Keith? Keith sounds like it's right, so I'm going to say that's right. Keith sounds like it's correct. Got to be streamed for 52 minutes, almost an hour. That's insane. So I'm just looking through the chat. Yeah, so I put this on Twitter, so I'm assuming you don't follow me on Twitter, Ayub, which is a travesty. You should follow me on Twitter. Link in the description. # follow me on Twitter. I think that's probably the best way to put it. But yeah, the CGI for Superman and Lois is going to be done by the same company that does the Witcher on Netflix and does the Marvel Disney Plus shows like Loki, WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know if it's Zoic. Or if it's another company. People were saying it was Zoic, but there was no link to who it was. But anyway, What's my TikTok? I don't have a public. Actually, I do have a public TikTok, which wouldn't be hard to find, but it's not my actual TikTok account. I use an alias because I didn't want to use my real one. So yeah, you won't find anything. You won't find any dabbing or dance trends or anything like that. There's no WAP dance of me on TikTok. So yeah. Since Hartley Sawyer is fired, is there a way that Tom Felton to I thought it said to become back to but to come back to the Flash? Probably I'd say Tom Felton coming back is probably dead in a major way. So by that, I don't think he could come back for an episode, but I don't think we're going to see him come back and be like a main role. So I think he come back for an episode or two. It'd be interesting to see how they do that. Actually, it wouldn't be too hard, I don't think. But I don't think he'd come back in any sort of like major way. But I'd love to see him come back just for an episode or two, just to help with something. Maybe they need some archaeological digging or something like that. That'd be pretty cool. Paige, how do you think the next crossover will play out now that we don't have Supergirl, Green Arrow, Black Lightning, etc.? It might be easier because it'll have less episodes. Like that's a very important thing to remember. Like it would only have Flash, Batwoman, Superman, and Lois, and then I guess maybe Stargirl if they wanted to fold that in as well. So, and maybe Wonder Girl if they're going to fold that in, or whatever they are. Like, I don't know where the other shows are going to play out. Like they're saying that Wonder Girl's in the Arrowverse, but that Naomi show, it's unsure whether that's going to fold in or not. So you remember there's those new shows coming, but even if it is just the shows that are already here now, so Superman, Lois, The Flash, Batwoman, and maybe Stargirl, it probably maybe helps them because they have less episodes and you can do a more condensed story and stuff like that. And it might be more interesting to explore the other shows, especially the newer shows, and make them have more focus. I think it's maybe more the relationships you're losing, so you're not having like Flash and Green Arrow or Flash and Supergirl and stuff like that. You're losing some relationships there, but then you can build on them in this crossover as well. I do hope that Superman and Lois and Batwoman crossover happens this season, even if it's just one episode, even if they're going to make it one episode. I hope it happens just to introduce the new Batwoman to some of these characters. I think that's important. I forgot about Legends. Yeah, Legends also, but I don't know what's going to happen with that show. I don't know if it's going to survive past the season. It's confusing. Do I think Barry will time travel? I don't know if he'll time travel this season. I'd love to see him explore the multiverse again, though, like tap into it. I'd love to see that happen. I don't know about time travel. I think it's hard to say whether he would because it's weird. They always say time travel's bad. We can't do it. Next minute, he time travels. So I don't know. Time traveling's cool, but I'd really prefer to see him travel the multiverse again. Will Nora West Allen be back? I don't think Nora would. I think you could get her playing Dawn, but Nora was a bit of a mixed bag of a character in regards to whether people liked her or not. So I don't know. I don't think it's a character they'd be dying to bring back. And I don't think Eric Wallace liked her as a character. Whenever you see Nora brought up and stuff in chat or they reference season 5, it doesn't seem like he really cares for Nora as a character too much. Do you think that shows like Titans or Doom Patrol could cross over with the Arrowverse in a more interactive way? Probably not. But then again, like Titans or Doom Patrol don't even cross over with themselves. Like apparently they're on different Earths from each other. So before they even cross, like I don't think you can have a crossover with the Arrowverse until those shows cross over with each other. So yeah, and also I think the issue is like the HBO Max thing, like maybe like Superman and Lois could cross over with them or something, or maybe Stargirl, but yeah, I don't know if you're going to see them cross over with the Arrowverse, like the majority of the other Arrowverse shows. How about seeing Doctor Who? So many people ask me if I watch Doctor Who. I've never watched Doctor Who in my life. I don't really have. It's not me saying I think it looks bad. It's really don't have an interest in it. I'm one of those weird people. Like something's really going to look interesting to me, or for some reason have some reason for me to watch it, And Doctor Who is just, I've seen like trailers and stuff. And it's never really appealed to me in my weird way. So yeah. But if you like it, that's cool. I just, like, me personally, I just have no attraction to watch it, if that makes sense. Amelia, don't spam. And my rule is if you spam, I don't answer the question. So I'd love to answer this question. So if someone else wants to ask this question, I'll answer it. But my rule and the word I live by is that I don't answer the spam question. So yeah. When is Melissa returning? I think it's like January or February. I think she's done with her maternity leave. So it's then or something. I wonder how much she's going to have to catch up and film. Because what, Supergirl will be on like episode 4 or 5, I think, by the time she gets in there. What's your opinion of One Division? I think it looks interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to Loki and Falcon and Winter Soldier more, but I had really little expectations of One Division, and it looks interesting. So it was a show I wasn't really overly interested in, but I was still curious about it. But the trailer sort of made me go, okay, this is pretty cool. I'll give it a watch. Jay Garrick is returned to confirm. Jay Garrick is returned to confirmed. That's not English. Jay Garrick is confirmed to return in season 6. I don't know about you, but I'm still upset that Slade Wilson and Walter Steele were in Naruto's finale. It would have been hard for Walter, I think, just because of the relevance there and where he was. But Slade should have been there. Slade definitely should have been there, especially for Oliver's like funeral. He definitely should have been there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, apparently She-Hulk's meant to be like a straight up comedy as well, like just like a law courtroom comedy or something like that, which could either be really bad or really good. I'm going to lean towards it being the more really good side. But apparently that's what it's meant to be. What's my favorite MCU movie? I like Thor Ragnarok. And that's just because it's different. Probably Thor Ragnarok. I think I should just say Thor Ragnarok because that's probably what it is. It's probably the one I enjoyed watching the most. I'd probably say Thor Ragnarok. I know, is that a bad answer? I know people are going to say, oh my God, that's the worst one. I hate that one. But yeah, that's probably my answer. So I'm just looking through the chat. Why didn't Katana appear in Oliver's funeral? Oliver's funeral didn't make a sense in a lot of ways, whether it was the memorial statue for Green Arrow or his actual funeral. There was a lot of characters that were there, and I'm like, why is that character there? And then there were characters that just didn't show up as well. So I was like, okay, well, this doesn't really make sense, but probably came down to just like timing or something like that and people being available. That's what I'd assume it is. So yeah. But guys, we've been streaming for an hour. That's pretty much the mark I was aiming for. So I'm probably going to end the stream right here, right now. Right here, right now. I didn't realize I was quoting a song then. But thanks for everyone tuning in. I'll try and make the next stream not in 2 months and hopefully stream sooner rather than later. I can tell you now. So get your hype levels up if you really care that much. I'm trying to fix my little background here because the room I'm in the moment where my computer is, the background is literally a mirror. It's like a wardrobe thing with a mirror on it. So I'm planning on putting like a green screen behind me and getting some lights and stuff so I can actually put my face and stuff and we can dab on camera together. So I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm going to try and get it done over the new year. So hopefully by the time the shows come back, and by shows I mean Flash, and maybe even earlier. So hopefully by February or late January, I'll have it all set up and all sweet. So I have like a green screen, some lights and stuff like that, so we can do some proper streams. But I'll let you know. I've been planning on doing that for a while, but I then changed rooms where the computer was. So and sort of shifted stuff around. So everything changed at that point. So I know, keep your eyes out for that. Hopefully by the next stream that's up and running, or it could be the stream after that. That's for us to wait and find out. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Thank you everyone that super chatted to support the channel during this time as well. Follow me on Twitter if you don't. Links in the description. And I should have a video out tomorrow. I have it done, and I hopefully, I should just upload it tomorrow. Because knowing me, they'll drop news on Monday or something like that in America. But anyway, so keep your eyes out for that video tomorrow. That's a weird thing to say. Oh, that's not a weird thing to say. Don't worry. That was my dirty mind. Don't worry. Anyway, I'm not going to say who I was talking to or referring to there because it'll make me look even more weird. But yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, goodbye.